we go. So I always record these
Yeah.
and put them on YouTube. You'll have a private link, so no one will have access to it except for you, unless you give
Yep.
them the link. Um,
Right.
so I usually don't ask if there's anything specific you want to know. Sometimes I can pull a couple of different ones, and sometimes it's just one massive long one. But
Hmm.
so yeah. Did I do a small one for you last night? I can't remember.
No, no,
Okay.
no. I was there. Well, oh no, that was Monday with the Aries reads when the
Oh, that's
fire
funny.
trucks went by. I was pissing my pants. Like you blue
That's funny.
Tauruses. Oh,
So the first thing I'm getting is a lot of boats, but they're not normal boats. They're like real long, thin, flat with little, they almost look like gondolas, but they're not. You know how a gondola
hmm.
is shaped?
Hmm.
I'm trying to see exactly where this is. So like what I see is like a whole bunch of them. It's like a celebration. So there's like lanterns floating in the water. I'm trying to see if it's obviously Asia, but I'm trying to see where because of the way that the lanterns look floating.
Hmm.
Actually, I think this is probably India. I don't think this is Asia at all. So I would say that this is probably India, closer to like the Pakistan, Korea, like that
Hmm.
area.
Hmm.
But you're sitting in the middle of, I mean, literally in the middle of all of these boats for a celebration. And it's night, everybody's looking up, but there's lanterns in between all the boats floating in the water and candles. And I mean, there's so many people. Okay, there you are. But your soul is really feminine. You almost always incarnate as a female,
Hmm.
but not a girly female. You're not a frou-frou
Pink and tutus,
spoiled.
ballerina.
So in the what I'm looking at right now, um, you're really important, and I'm trying to see not important as in like someone with a lot of money, someone more with a lot of spiritual power. Like you are literally in the middle of all of these boats with your arms upstretched, and everybody is waiting on you for a signal to do something. Okay. I'm not familiar enough with some of the practices over there, so I don't know the right words to use, but and what I'm looking at now, I'm gonna say this is probably around the early to mid 1100s. You lost all of your family like at a very, very young age here. Um, just from illness, from a disease,
Hmm.
and you are the only one that survives. You have some interesting mark here. It's like a scar, but it's not from a wound. So I don't know if whatever this disease was, you caught something. This it's like it's almost like a burn mark, but it's not.
Mhm.
You know how people have like I have a couple of like severe chicken pox scars where you can kind
Yeah.
of see them, but this looks like a burn. It's right here on your chin.
Mm.
But it has an interesting shape. It's almost like it almost looks like it's got writing in it, like it's interesting. It's but it goes literally from here to here, just right under the edge of your jaw.
Mm.
Do you have heterochromia? Like, do
Mm-mm.
you have,
Well,
because so what I'm looking at, you literally have two different colored eyes in this life, but in the meat sack you're in now, what's up with your eyes? You have something different with your eyes.
mm, other than the
You
one
have it
eye.
and almost, you have it, you have something interesting with your eyes in almost every single one of your, almost every single life. Okay. So the reason I mention that is because whatever this is with your eyes, it's almost always your right eye that's more different.
Mhm.
And it's kind of how your soul tribe recognizes you. It's like you're kind of you're the head of the pyramid. It's so funny. Like you're here and then they all come down like this.
Mhm.
So you are almost always the protector, always the leader every time you find them. Okay. So in this life that I'm looking at, I would say probably from about seven, 6, 7 is when you started to lose all your family. Um, and you were kind of found just wandering a little bit and like walking barefoot in the rocks and so on. But because of whatever this was and because of the eyes, some people didn't want to deal with you because they thought you know, something bad had happened, that there was a demon or whatever.
Mhm.
So they actually took you to one of the temples there and you kind of just lived, just scavenged at the temple for a little bit because it's funny. It's like they didn't want anything to do with you, but at the same time, they wanted you to stay around. Um, oh, you have a fun karmic bond with this one fucking old lady. Okay.
Hmm.
She is like, you know how superheroes have arch nemesis, like
Yes.
that is her for you. And she's been around in this life too when you were
Yeah.
younger. She's not
My
here
mother,
anymore.
my mother, most likely.
Yeah, she's not here anymore.
Mm.
Um, it's a push and pull. Like she wants you to be around, she doesn't want you to be around, but she's not nice. Like she's not nice at all. There is
Mhm.
something about you being here that almost offends her in a way. I don't understand it, but that's how it feels. So she's the one that she's in the ear of the person in charge, and it takes a few years before she's actually someone actually murders her and her soul blames you even though you had nothing to do with it. That's fucking funny.
Sounds very familiar.
This soul makes enemies in every single life. Like they are not a nice person. In the life I'm looking at with you,
Mhm.
um, she made enemies of every single person, and it was actually like a group work to put her to death, and it was not a very nice death. Like it was a poisoning, and then she was literally shoved into a hole.
Mhm.
She was not a nice person. but she was in the ear of the person in charge, and for some reason they trusted her, so they wouldn't let anybody near them. And after she, and then of course they give her the whole big burial and stuff, like it's funny.
Mhm.
Even the people that actually were in charge of killing her are the very ones that were in charge of her. That's funny. That's some petty shit right there. But once she's gone, everything changes. And okay, you get kind of taken under the wing of somebody. You're looking for that right now. I see why. Oh, my hair is standing on it. Okay. I see why this is affecting you so bad. Um, you're looking for that person. You're looking for that person to take you under their wing and to show you all the things. Um, you had that when you were about 14 in the life I'm looking at. So this person completely took you under their wing and
Mhm.
showed you literally everything you needed to know. And they pointed out prophecy about the eye. They pointed out how you could see things differently. Okay. So in the life you're in now, the Sylvie meets Ek,
Mhm.
you have always had to kind of hide. You've always had to, you're a very intelligent soul. You are a very intelligent lady too. Okay. You've always had to kind of hide things from everybody. You have to hide your true self from almost everybody.
Pretty much.
And you're missing that connection. It's popping back up again. You recently, you came across something that pinged that. You came across a symbol. I can't find any of my shit. I can't find any of my shit.
Don't you love moving?
I just want like a piece of paper so I can
Mm.
fucking draw this because
So
I
the
can't.
next time I move, it's gonna be to the grave. That's it.
I can't draw it exact, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
attempt. It's much different than this because it's gold. Um, and there's a bastardized version of it now. So
Mhm.
this is like a bastardized version. I don't know where you came across this. Mainly it's this. There's some writing here.
Mhm.
I just did my own little scribbles.
Mhm.
But you've come across this somewhere and it pinged that memory of that person taking you under their wing. I have a feeling that it was mainly this. That should be like, they're almost like points, but
Right.
this right here is turquoise in the middle, and the rest of this is gold. That's why I was like, it's gonna be a shitty drawing. Um, but it's that those two triangles, those two inverted triangles. That did you just get a new deck of cards?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did actually. I love turquoise.
Make sure I'm not fucking my cards up as I'm just shuffling away. So whatever it was that you saw, where you saw this I mean, it's literally like two triangles just inverted,
Mhm.
but it's a turquoise diamond in the middle, and then there's two big gold. They're almost like serrated spear edges. Um, but it
Mhm.
in every single life we have, we revolve around some of the same themes, some of the same symbols, etc. This is why people get so obsessed with like Egypt or
Mhm.
Norse culture or like things that they have never ever been around. They get obsessed with that shit.
It's been
Because
Native American for me,
it's
always.
in there.
Mhm.
Um, so a lot of the Native American stuff is very similar to um some of the Hindu practices, some of the Buddhist practices. I mean, they mirror each other very, very closely. Um, Terminology is different, but practices
Right.
are pretty much the same. So whatever this symbol was, wherever it was you came across it, it's almost like it unlocked something.
Mhm.
Um, and you're looking for that person again. Um, I don't think you're going to find that same woman. I don't think her soul is here. I don't think because her soul is like super old and I don't think it's been around for a while. Um, you're looking for her or somebody like her to take you under their wing. Um, you're fixing to do like a massive fucking 360, 180 up and down everywhere else shift with where you're going spiritually because of this. Um, with her taking you under her wing and showing you everything, um, like your entire life you devote to that practice. And you don't live in the normal world in that life at all. Living in the temple, performing all these rituals and ceremonies, like it's not in the world.
Mhm.
Um, have you ever done meditations or anything to find your soul's home, for your soul to show you where it goes back to whenever you're not in a meat sack?
I try to meditate, but my head, ADHD, I did have when I was in Chaco Canyon, I had a vision. It smacked me because I wanted to like just be quiet and listen. And there was a cloud that came across of like this shamanic woman, followed by a ginormous thunderstorm. And I just had this feeling that I had been there. I was a medicine woman, something, but I was there. And I like cried and didn't want to leave the canyon. Eric, my husband, and I went back last year and no, the year before and hiked it. It's just here for me. That place, Sedona a little bit, but not like Chaco.
Mhm.
So I, I think I am like, who am I? I think because of whatever my narcissistic mother, I was never allowed to. One feeling, pissed off. That's it. That's all I was allowed. You know what I mean? So I think that searching, like you're saying, I'm searching for something tangible. Like, where is my soul? What does it need to be? Kind of a thing. It's always been comfortable Native American wise. I don't know why. Even Egypt, I just want to learn about, everything.
Yeah.
Ever since meeting you and seeing you, like, I got back kind of into my crystals. I would love to, have the Wiccan part and know how to do, rituals. And I'm not talking like, make
Yeah.
somebody stub their toe kind of thing. But I've always just been interested in just earth, pagan, native, just earth, Mother Earth. And I wish to God everybody else would, think that way. It's like, guess what, guys?
I
There's only one.
mean,
There's
you're preaching
only
to the
one of
choir
these.
here, girl.
Only
You're
one.
preaching
Just
to the
let me know.
choir. Um,
Everything's dying to make room for your fat ass. So come on, let's think about it.
so what do you do now?
I'm a
Like
veterinarian.
okay,
Yep.
okay.
I've always, that's another one. I mean, since the age of 2, I veered off because I was like, I don't know. So I went back when I was 26. I was in the army for 4 years. And I think that gave me the focus and gave me you can do this. And it didn't really matter if I didn't make it as a vet because I had been a technician since that. So I was always going to be in that. To me, if I couldn't be a vet, I'd be like, boop-a-doo. No, I do what I do. So,
Right.
I mean, I do love my art. I do love my crafts. I've gotten a lot since meeting you again too, like me time and just doing my stuff. Um, like I made this, I collect rocks. My daughter thinks I need to go to Rocks Anonymous, but like, I do stuff like this.
Oh, that is cool as fuck, dude.
So it's like I see the shapes of rocks, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
and then I do gnomes because
I love
ah,
them.
okay, brr, this is my Halloween one. So I have one of
Oh
these.
my God.
I have one of these for each month. I'm like, what am I gonna do with all these fucking gnomes? And then I do bird houses. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
I love it. I think that's cool as shit, dude.
Anyway, you're gonna have something coming in the mail. Anyway, so yeah, I and with animals, it's like an innate thing. Like I hit a deer because Maine. Um,
Yeah.
and it was still, alive, and the police officer's like, don't get near it. I'm like, bawling. And I sat on the ground with it and it looked it up and it just put its head on my lap. And the cop was like, okay. He kind of like just walked off. I sat with them for a bit and then more people came and then it was a doe and she got up and ran. Of course, she
Mhm.
had a broken leg. So they had to go find her. And I'm like, la, 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 la.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I do now, so that connection with, I mean, honestly, if I really could have done it, I would have taken my child as an infant, put her in a backpack and gone off to the safaris, Serengeti, and just plopped and lived out there. Thing, you know, I'd be totally okay with that. I long for like the days of the Plains Indians and that, you know what I mean? It
Mhm.
horrifies me what happened. If I really think about it, like the Crusades, let's shove God down your throat. You don't believe it, we're going to kill you because God said that's what we need to do. Or, just coming over here and plowing over people. I have to like back off the TV with stuff like that, like Ukraine and all this stuff. I just can't, I just can't. Like,
I understand.
yep.
I don't sit and watch TV well. I was actually talking to my kids about my kid about the Crusades the other day because we had a discussion about religion, and
Mhm.
I said, well, in my opinion, I was like, Christianity is like the most violent religion. My kid was like, you can't really say that. I'm like, I really can though.
Yeah,
Like I really
I
can
think
though.
I can.
Like if you look at the Crusades, if you look at the Roman Empire, if you look at how they wiped out the Persian Empire or tried to, how they wiped out the pagan, like
I
yeah,
mean, even
yeah,
Israel and Jerusalem fighting, that's small compared to still.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. My kid was like, well, do you really think that the ones at church down the street? And I'm like, no, because they're pussies. They're not going to do that. I was like, but they are going to shove it down other people's throats. I said, because it's in their book that they have to do this thing. My kid was like, well, I see it like, they believe that that's going to make them go to heaven and they're just trying to make you go to heaven too. And I'm like, okay, so if you don't believe in a place called Habanabanaba and that's
mhm.
where you're supposed to go because that's where the good people go. And if you don't believe in Haba Naba Naba, you're going to go to fucking all the
Somewhere
Bernie
else.
pit. I was
Exactly.
like, so if somebody comes up and they're like, you have to believe in this fucking place and you've never heard of it, you don't care. Like, are you going to go, oh, okay, I should totally believe in that? My kid was like, no. And I'm like, then why would you believe in heaven just because someone says you
I
have to?
told you. I know.
And my kid was like, well, I didn't look at it that way, but you still can't say I'm like, okay, whatever. You're
What
17 and
what
you're
gets
a
me is
fucking Leo
right.
and the baby and a Scorpio rising. And I'm
Oh
not going to
my
argue with
God.
you. Like,
I
oh yeah,
Yeah.
my kid's
I
just
want to
crazy.
find out my husband's birth chart, but he was born in Albuquerque. And
Mhm.
apparently in Albuquerque, they don't put the time of death. I mean, time of death, time of birth. So I'm like, "Whoop, sorry, honey." They don't put the time of birth. All he knows is
That's
his father was
weird.
kind of drunk and out. So he said sometime after midnight, between midnight and 8:30 in the morning. Pick a time.
I mean, that's a starting point.
Yeah.
So here's what sucks about not knowing the time is like you could just pinpoint in the middle and do
Mhm,
like 4 a.m.
mhm,
But his rising is going to be off and all his
mhm,
houses are going to be off.
mhm, mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so he may have a moon in the fifth house,
Right.
but it could say it's Gemini and it's not really, it's
Right.
Aries, like
I wonder if we should call the hospitals, the Presbyterian hospital. I wonder if they would have record or something. But
I don't
yeah, I
know.
don't understand
Does
how.
he have a copy of his birth certificate
Mhm.
and it doesn't have it?
No, bizarre.
Does it have anything AM or PM at all?
No,
That's
no
fucking
time at
weird.
all. I know, right?
That's fucking weird.
Oh, darn New Mexico's. Um, yeah, so I don't understand how intelligent people don't understand that the Bible is a great story. I mean, I was born and raised Catholic. Hello,
Hmm.
you know, and it just gets me because the Catholic Church. I'm like, why don't we just sell half the stuff the Pope sits on? And I'm pretty sure he could
Right.
feed Ethiopia.
Yeah, yeah, or more.
So when you, what? It just boggles my mind. And the fact that they're finding these new texts and yeah, Jesus is married, probably had kids. Pretty sure that Mary Magdalene was the one whispering in his ear about being a good person.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I don't know if you ever read the Da Vinci Code. The book
Hmm.
is different than the movie. Like
Yeah,
I read the book and then saw the movie. I did like the movie, but
yeah, the book
it
gets
kind
into
of
it.
cracks me up. It kind of cracks me up. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
So
And
I've
then
always,
all of the texts where he just and this is one thing I always point out to people. I'm like, do you realize that he just disappears? Like he's a teenager and then he's an adult. Like he just
what
disappears
happened?
for like 8 years.
Mhm.
And there are stories in all of these other countries of him going and traveling. And so when people ask me if I believe he's God or whatever, I said, no, I believe he's an ascended master. I believe he was a
Done. Like,
person,
yeah,
but
it's
I
very, very,
don't like I don't believe he's God.
mhm.
He would be like a demigod, basically, you know,
Right,
like
right.
Hercules. But I believe he was an ascended master. I believe he was fantastic at meditation because there is actually a logical scientific way he could have hung on that
Done
cross
that.
for a while and then walked away. Like people that are fantastic
Mhm.
at meditation can slow their heart rate to the
Uh,
point that they look dead. They
exactly.
seem dead. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I know
So
it.
yeah.
I just always buck the system, I guess, when it comes to stuff like that. And what kills me too, every religion has had like the Native Americans, fourth, fifth world, right?
Hmm.
Got the fire, you got the flood. How in God's creation do the Native Americans in Oklahoma
Hmm.
back in the day believe in a flood? The same thing that they're preaching about, like they didn't even know they existed, and they both had the same story.
Hmm. Yeah, every religion, the
Not
Hindus,
because
everybody. And
everybody.
then
It's
the
not because of
Hindu scripts, yeah.
it's not because of the
Yeah.
Bible. You know what I mean? Oh, we had the Bible. We just read it. Cheated.
Yeah.
Googled it.
Well, people also don't realize either like the Bible that is now is completely different than older versions of the Bible. Like a committee of rich guys got together and put the Bible together and then
Mhm.
it changes all the time. And so when I pointed out to someone on a live like 6 months ago or so that oh, and the lady when she came in my store and was arguing with me, I was like, well, you
Oh God,
realize
yes.
that like there's so many versions of the Bible. I said, and the Ethiopian Bible actually has like the most books in it. And she said, well, I would never read that. And I was like, it's literally the Bible. Like this, it's the one you were just talking to me about. But that one has like 55 books in it. And she was like, well, I still would never read it. And I'm like,
Mm. Okay. Not to mention, it was written by men.
yeah, yeah. It just cracks me up. Like when you point that out to people that
Yeah, they
so I used to do whenever I worked in publishing companies, like I worked for a Christian publisher. And when after 9/11, like all the big publishing or all the little publishing companies just folded really quickly.
yep.
But so I did a lot of freelance work and I worked for a lot of companies in Milan and I did a lot of translations. For some reason, I am really fucking good at taking old English, like the thou, thee,
That
ye,
is
yay,
so
all that
hard.
stuff
Yes.
and
Yeah.
making it into modern English. It's
Hmm.
weird. I can read it and understand it like that. And so I did a lot of translations. And what sucks is like I had to sign NDAs. And so I'm like, I know all this shit. And it's just mind blowing. And I'm like, you guys have all of this shit, and you won't release it. You won't release it. Oh my God, it's the fur baby.
Hey, Baba. Come here, Bronco Blue. Oh, he's
Oh
my,
my God.
he is, God love him. He's numb as a hake. I call him my idiot, but small. He's like Ferdinand the bull. He smells
Oh my
flowers and tastes
God.
butterflies. Could care less about deer,
I
turkeys,
love him.
numbnut. And I got my mixed breed, my rescue. It's my and my husband. Well, she loves my husband, the little corgi,
uh,
just like a hummingbird. And she's so perky. I'm gonna get something. She's a riot, but she loves my husband. Thank God. She's driving me crazy.
Aw.
It's two purebreds that drive me crazy. It's my little girl. Akina, come here. No, they're all here. You can see her. My rescue.
Aw.
Look at Lucy. God damn it, Lucy. And my
Uh,
Like
one of
orange twins.
my mods, Mustang Legend, or so I can't remember what her name
You
is
know,
on there, but
yep.
Donna,
Mhm.
she raises German Shepherds, and she raises something else,
Oh
but
God,
she
don't say that.
also breeds horses. Like, she's all about it. She was going to give me a full blood German Shepherd girl that she had, because I had some issues and things like that.
Yep,
When you come
yep.
into a shop and there's a huge fucking dog, you think a
Mhm.
few times. But it with me traveling so much, it was too much energy. And I've really been missing her lately. Like, I feel so bad. I've been missing her lately.
Well,
She was so
he's
amazing dog.
he just sits there and barks, just a German Shepherd bark or a Rottie bark or a
Oh
Derby
yeah.
bark. It's just a different bark. All they gotta do is bark, and people are like, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And that's just enough to get you where I don't know if
Yeah.
he'd attack. If there was a laser pointer, he'd be all over it. That's all I
Oh
need.
my God.
Yep. And
Yeah.
congrats on a little
My
eclipse kitty.
my ex-husband and I used to raise huskies. We had an
Oh,
albino male and a cinnamon female. And so we used to, oh my God, she had some of the, well, it was like the tricolor cinnamon, so she
yes.
threw up all the colors. But the male, I mean, he's solid white and he has that deep chest, like boof bark. We'd have people come to the house though, and they would be more afraid of Zeus than they would of Havoc.
Mhm.
And it would make me sad. I'm like, he's 3 pounds. Like, he's 3 pounds.
Exactly.
Like, he's already missing teeth. Like, he's old as shit. Like, he's not gonna do anything to you. He's gonna bark, and then he's gonna, because he thinks you're here to see him. But they
Right.
would, and it made me like my dad's mom. Um, she used to have like hateful ass chihuahuas and chows. I'm terrified of fucking chows.
Cows, it's some funny. As soon as they turn 3 years old, something triggers. Something just and they go against, yeah, they're weird.
I am
They're weird.
like terrified of them. I've
Mhm.
never had one bite me, but
Mhm.
hers were always mean. And she had a part of her yard that was fenced, and we weren't allowed to go over there. But she had some hateful fucking chihuahuas. And so I understand. But I'm
Yeah,
like, no, you need
but
you need to
still,
be legit worried about the big white one, not the little white one, the big white one. You need to be legit worried about that bitch. So yeah, you need to be worried about that one. But
yeah, huskies are great. Their energy.
Donna also, I'm sticking to my chair. Donna also raises Highland Lynx cats. And so
You're getting one, right?
she's trying to give me two. I'm like, girl, I don't need two. I don't need two. But
Both.
she had two born late Sunday night. So
I
they're
know.
like technically eclipse kitties.
They're your eclipse babies. Did
Hmm.
you ever get the email of the kitties? They're gonna be gorgeous.
So the one in the
God, they're
front, she said she's pretty sure is
stripes.
a blue smoke, and the
Yep.
one behind, she's pretty sure is a
Black
black
smoke.
tiger. And so yeah, I'm
Oof.
all excited. Because I
Oof.
wanted a blue smoke so bad.
Mhm.
Uh,
Did you get? I mean, I know you have a gazillion, but I had sent you some pictures from the shelter of because Maine Coons, like you
mhm.
said, and even with my connections, you're still looking at, which is fucking insane. You're looking at, I don't know, 900 to $1,200.
Yep. Oh, I know. When I started looking, I was like, "Bleh."
Yeah,
Like,
right. I'm like, when did this? Because, like I said, I've been in the veterinary field for a long time, and it used to be,
mhm.
300 for a female, 200 for a male. What?
Yeah,
And some of the
yeah,
people that breed it are, the poor thing, the vagina is an ATM, so they're just,
oh yeah,
it's not
yeah.
even a quality breed. So, I mean, even looking for my shepherd, I was like, had to do my research. He came from Illinois. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, wonder Middle West shepherds. Holy crap, you should see their setup. I want to go live there. It's
Aw.
amazing. But yeah, you
Donna's
gotta
is like that, man. She has this
Mhm.
fucking amazing with the horses and everything. Yeah. She's
Pets.
like, you should come visit. I'm like, no, I won't
Oh
come.
God, no. I'd
Well,
want
I
horse
would
and
as soon as
shepherd.
it got cold, because it's Michigan. Like, no, ma'am. And she'll send pictures of like all the snow. I'm like, nope, nope. I understand why old people move to
Florida,
Arizona in the winter.
exactly. Although we just got our 16 inches 5 days ago.
Nope.
What?
No, I grew up in Colorado, and
Yeah.
I
Oh,
loved it as a kid. God, I loved snow as a kid,
yeah.
but I didn't have to drive in it. I didn't have to worry about having food because my parents all,
Shovel.
you know what I mean? Like, nope,
Yeah, my
nope.
husband, like I said, he was born in Albuquerque, but he was raised in Oklahoma. He was raised in Oklahoma, Oklahoma. I had to giggle. Um, and he's just like with the snow. He's Not that you don't get it in Oklahoma, but we're both kind of like
We haven't really gotten a lot though. Like this last
this year.
winter, we didn't get shit. Like
Mm-mm.
the ticks and the fleet, like the bugs are gonna be so fucking bad.
Ticks are already
Um,
out up here.
oh God, I'm sure they are here. I in a way, so I'm really gonna miss my yard because I really loved my yard, being able to go out, stand
And
in
just
fucking grass.
and
But
chill. Yeah.
I have a rooftop with a big deck out there, and so
Get
there's a
some
lot of
sod.
crows, and
Get some
I'm
sod
going
so
to.
you can
I'm going to, I asked my landlord, I'm like, do you give a
ground.
shit if I put like, like a rooftop garden? Cause it's a flat and it's a white roof. Oh my God, it's so fucking bright. You can't go out there without losing every bit of your sight. But I've got to make sure that I'm treating anything out there because I don't think the cats can get on the roof. There are a lot of weird stray cats around here.
Oh yeah.
So my
Pretty much if
dogs
the
are
cats do get on the roof,
spoiled.
they shouldn't be able to get down.
Yeah, my dogs are spoiled and kind of bougie. And so like they get all the good treatments, the flea and tick
Mhm.
treatment, but mm-mm.
Mm-mm. No, I know. Mm-mm.
The
You
mosquitoes are
can
going to be
make,
so bad. Like,
they have cat enclosures, which are so freaking cool. So like they
oh,
can
I
still get
can't wait.
out there, but they
I
can
can't wait.
do their thing.
We're, so the deck out there is pretty good size, but the roof is massive. I should have been on my phone so I could have showed you, because you'd appreciate it. But, probably next week, because I still don't know where half my goddamn shit is. But
Mm-hmm.
I have somebody coming to finish out at least just the railing so I
Mm-hmm.
can mesh around it so the
Yes.
littles can go out on the back porch.
Right.
So then, and I'll have a rooftop hot tub. So that's kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, rooftop hot tub. Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. When are you? Because July is usually when I take off. I mean,
hmm
I own the place, so I could take off whenever. Baloney, because I always let my doctors go first. When you coming up to the East Coast in July? Because I want to make sure. I only technically now work like 2 days a week, and the rest of it,
So
running a business. You know how that is, right?
I am going to, where's my fucking, god damn it, shit. Okay, there we go. I will be,
So I
this
can.
doesn't have date. Okay, it does. Um, So I have to be in Layton, Pennsylvania, the 28th through the 30th. And then I'm staying in New York the 30th. And then I'm leaving the 1st. And then I'm going to stay in like probably Salem the
Yep.
1st through the 5th.
Hmm.
So because that seems like a good central place because I would like to spend
It
4th of
is.
July in Boston. I think that'd be really cool.
Yes.
But that way it gives me because I want to drive up through Rhode Island and connect like
Mhm.
even if I just like go touch a foot in Maine, like I'm in the Maine, like
I'm
so
right at the bottom too. So like it's literally like York Algonquin me.
yeah, I've really got to sit down um and try to plan a lot of this stuff out.
Mhm.
Um there's so much I want to do
Have you
and
been to
I
Salem?
know I'm not gonna have enough
I know.
time.
I know. Have you been to Salem, Mass?
No, no. That's partially why I want to stay there because
Get your
it's like a
spiritual boots
good
on.
central. Yeah, I'm
It's
excited.
it's phenomenal, and they really did it well. You can go to the House of Gables, right?
hmm
Yep. Then they have the witch, and they actually make the mock trials. And there's a witch museum. I always take Grace, and you can get for Halloween. You can get pictures. So me and my girls, I have a stepdaughter. We got dressed up like in the beautiful witches like outfits and
hmm
stuff, and had pictures taken. So it was so cool. But you're gonna love it. And
I
even
can't
walking
wait.
through the cemetery,
I can't wait.
that was
I
like,
um I found out that so on my biological dad's side, I have like a piece of lipstick that is like crusted right there. It's driving me up the wall.
uh-huh.
And it's like the lipstick doesn't come off.
Does
So
it
I'm
come
gonna
off?
have to wear it all fucking
Yep.
day. So I'm gonna fuck with it and just look like I'm on crack or something.
I
But
do the
anyway,
same thing.
I'm like, meh. I'm like, I'm really not coming on to you. There's just a weird fucking thing of lipstick. It is what it is. But I found out all of his family on his dad's side, his maternal side and paternal side of his dad, both came over here from Ireland. And even on my grandma's side, I don't really call her my grandma, she's a
Mm.
fucking piece of shit, but um all of her family came over here from England and Ireland. They're all buried right around fucking Layton, Pennsylvania. Every fucking
God.
one of them within 5 miles of each other. I was like, what what? Okay, what? Like the ones that came over during the Revolutionary War and
Yep.
before the Revolutionary War, plus the ones that like just came off the boat, all are
Oh,
buried right there.
oh my God.
So I told Sass, like, because we're spending, oh, I think I got it. Hallelujah.
Woohoo.
Um, because I try not to drive more than 6 hours a day so I can still do a live and we still have
Yep.
time to stop and fuck
Yep.
around. But I've never been to Niagara Falls and we're gonna be like pretty close. So I'm like, we're just gonna drive up to Niagara and then come down and I can hit every one of those fucking things. So I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of grave rubbings. I bought a whole bunch of shit to do them with when I was in New Orleans and didn't get to because I left it
Yeah,
here.
because I remember you said you were going to do it, but it was raining, wasn't it? Half the
No, I
time?
left it here. I
Oh,
left it here.
oh, there's that. That's what I do.
Yeah. I had it delivered here and then left it. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll have it delivered to the hotel
Yeah.
in New Orleans. No, I had it delivered to the shop. So I have a fuck ton.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be going up that way for 3 fucking weeks. Like I
Go.
used to do cemetery photos and I really love to. So
I,
I'll probably do a lot of
I love
those and
graveyards.
rubbings.
Yeah. And especially on the East Coast, there's some old ass graves.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
and you'll see families, like a big headstone, and you'll see kid, like 12 of them all dead
Yeah.
within the first 1 year, 2 years, you know what I mean? Just from God knows what,
Yeah,
It's like
I can't even
crazy.
imagine that. There's a lot of them in New Orleans like that where they're all buried in one massive kind of crypt
Yep.
mausoleum thing.
Yep.
Um, and it's yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
A lot of lost at sea stuff. But
Gotcha. I
you'll love
can't
it.
even
You're
imagine
gonna
that
love it.
either.
And Niagara, um, driving into Niagara, you're gonna be like, is where am I? I couldn't believe it. It was like, the poor veterans out there in their wheelchairs, like begging for money, stores like um boarded up, like poverty riven. And I'm like, it, I know millions of people visit Niagara. It's just so sad.
Mhm.
We did pass a funeral home called Am I Gone, which I'm sure is Amagoni. Amigone. I took a picture of it. I about peed my pants. I'm like, well, I hope you're gone. And my daughter's total smart ass as well. So it was just very poor driving up there. So, and if you pass by the Holiday Inn, you're going to see some bullet holes in like the walls. So there's
Okay.
that. Stay on the outside of Niagara.
So there's actually we're probably not going to stay in Niagara. There's a castle that's I'll pull up Google Maps, but it's kind of like southwest a little bit. It kind of follows, I don't
Is
know if
it
that's the
Bolt?
lake or
It
whatever,
is.
but
Is it
it's,
Bolt Castle?
huh?
Bolt or Singer Castle?
Singer.
Yes.
I was like, it
That's
starts with the
on
S.
that's on the Thousand Islands.
Okay.
That's on the St. Lawrence. Me and my daughter went there. Holy crap. I'm never gonna have that kind of money. People own these islands and they're in the family. That's it. It's
Mm-hmm.
called a Thousand Islands because there's a thousand islands.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to go to Bolt Castle because this guy from, I think, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Russia, somewhere over there, love of his life, bought it, had it shaped as a heart, one of the islands. I
Mm-hmm.
should get the picture real quick. Um, and for his love, built this gorgeous castle, like mimicked l'Arc de Triomphe, you know what I mean, from
Mm-hmm.
France there. Well, she died. He left it done, gone. I mean, there was a bowling alley in there. The kids had a playhouse. That's it. He left. You should see the boathouse too. And left it empty. And I think finally the kids didn't want it. So now I think the state of New York bought it for like $1 and did some re-renovation. It's phenomenal, but it's that. And then further down is Singer. And
Okay.
they were kind of like, you know, rivals-ish in a way.
Yeah.
The Thousand Island dressing came from there because a woman would make this dressing and Bolt, I think it was, or maybe it was Singer. Anyways, one of those two said, you got to make this dressing. So she made it all the time. And they're like, oh, and that's right, he ran the Waldorf Astoria. He was the manager there or something. So he brought that there and they're like, what's the name of this dressing? And he's like, Thousand Island.
I did
Where that
not
came
know
from.
that.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's cool. It's really cool.
What?
And they're, oh my God, Bodie, the house is on there. Uh, Phenomenal. I think Kennedy has a place out there or one of them. It's just phenomenal. You're like, where does this money come
That's one of
from?
my favorite things to do when I'm driving through a place is to look at the houses and stuff. Like there are some houses in Tulsa that the old oil mansions and stuff. Oh
Oh my
my fucking
gosh.
God.
Yes.
And a lot of them, there are some that were designed by Frank Lloyd Wright that are just fucking weird. And I love them.
Yep.
Um, and then driving through Baton Rouge is another one of my favorite ones because it looks like someone picked up all these old plantation houses that you would see like in the Carolinas
Yep.
and plopped them in neighborhoods, and it's just insane. It's just insane.
Yep. I haven't been out
So
there yet. That's where I want to go. But I saw the ones because I was out in Oklahoma. I went to OSU to finish up from because I was in St. Kitts for my
mhm.
uh Ross University, and then I had to finish my 1 year of that school in Oklahoma. Um,
Okay.
and there was so I was in what? This was Lafayette. There was a castle out there, but a rich oil man
Hmm.
who married his mistress, I think, and built something for it. It was I can't remember the name of it, but it had to have been out there by not Lafayette. Oh my God, what am I talking about? Stillwater, that area.
Yeah.
It was out somewhere around there. There was one of those big ones. I mean, my
Yeah.
Rena went and it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
There's a whole bunch of really weird big ass houses in Guthrie too.
Mhm.
That town has some really interesting history. Like
Yeah,
a lot of Oklahoma does, where the point where you kind of look around and you're like, I don't know that I should be here. Like even
right.
now, I don't know that I should be here. Am I the right shade of white to be here? Like, yeah, that's one thing I don't like about Sapulpa is some of that is still here. Like the
Mhm.
theater that used to be in my shop over there was the whites only theater, and there's a building right back here behind me that had the other people theater.
Segregation. Yeah.
Like the Native Americans had to go there, and the African Americans had to go there,
Yep.
and there are still, and it's a tattoo parlor now, and there are still people that walk in there, and Brandon will kick them out of his shop, but they'll
Yeah.
say, "Well, I wish it was still that way." It's like you are in the wrong place.
Seriously.
You should leave.
Right. You need to go. Well, my Eric's grandfather, Folsom, was a preacher, but he was Chickasaw, half Chickasaw. He was adopted and all this other stuff, but he was a preacher, and he basically would take and teach the Native American kids and foster some of them and stuff. God, he was alive with Wyatt Earp,
Oh
and he died
wow.
at 100 and something. And then his grandmother, Grandma Fern, just passed away maybe 2, 3 years ago. She was like 102.
Holy
So
shit.
there's some serious history there. So yeah, so it's kind of funny being Native American. Eric and I, it's a whole thing. Let me tell you, we couldn't have not been together. Fate was like, sorry, nope, because we met 15 years ago in St. Kitts, and then I never saw him again, and then boom. Um, I had to have grace apparently. But I got my Indian and my cowboy.
Aww.
Yeah, I saw his arms. I was very superficial. He had nice biceps. I'm like, bing. My best friend's like, oh Jesus Christ. Yep. And then I went from there. But um yeah, amazing, but crazy shit.
No, I understand. I understand. I
Oh
understand.
God.
I
So
get it.
yeah, I could go back. I could go back 3 million years. I'd be happy.
I
Get
don't know
back.
about 3 million, but
Maybe not 3 million.
I don't know about that far. I don't
I'll
know
be
about
running
that
away from
far, Sylvia.
T-Rex.
Hang on, hang on. Like, hang on. Wait, pause. Pause.
T-Rex can't catch me. He's got no arms.
Yeah. Look at this fish motherfucker over here, like trying to
What
look at me.
are you doing? Can't catch
Yeah,
me.
maybe not quite that.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. I don't know. There are some time periods where I think would be really cool. I was
Mhm,
always obsessed with the like medieval times and stuff like
mhm,
that. And then especially with the Norse and the Vikings and then ancient Egypt, like things like that. But then I
mhm.
think about it, I'm like, but I do like having a toilet. Like
Yeah,
I do like having a toilet.
I like a
Like
toilet, and I like to
I've
have
used
medicine
an
that.
outhouse before and I'm okay with
Yeah,
never having that experience
yeah.
again.
Army, I'm enough. It's enough. They'd be like, "Where are you going, Epper?" I had my weapon, my wet wipes, and where are you going, Epper? What do you think? I'm not
Yeah.
going to a porta potty. That's all I have to say. That's not
Mhm.
happening. I'm gonna
Mhm.
find me a tree. But yeah, my mother is from France. God rest her narcissistic soul. My father's from Switzerland, so I'm first generation American. So we would go over. We didn't do Disney. We went over and saw the castles and stuff. We went to
Yeah.
medieval torture chambers.
Oh, I can't even.
I would be singing
I
like a bird.
like that.
Wait,
I've never. I've never wanted to go see that ever. I have all these friends that are like, oh yeah, we're going here. I'm like, that sounds great. Like, take me some pictures. And they're like, why don't you want to go? Like, it's on my bucket list. I'm like, it's not on mine. It's
No,
not on mine. Maybe I lived it. Maybe I was part of it.
something
I don't
happening, maybe,
know.
yeah. Yep,
But I'm good. I'm
yep.
good.
And it kills me again. If you're gonna torture the shit out of someone, how does anybody not have the wherewithal to go like, well, if I'm gonna hurt you that bad, you're gonna say anything at that
Mhm,
point. Hello, the Inquisition?
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Do you know Eddie Izzard?
Huh.
Eddie Izzard, the comedian. He dresses as a woman.
Okay.
Um, fucking riot. You gotta watch him. He's talking about the Spanish Inquisition. He goes, but if that happened in England, it'd be more like, so, cake or death. I'll have cake, please. Okay, cake. Cake or death? Cake. We have no more cake. Chicken? Can I have chicken? He's a riot. He's very intelligent. He's just stuff he talks about. I just thought about that with the Inquisition and the torture.
I wrote his name down. So
Eddie Izzard.
yeah,
Yeah,
I follow a lot of comedians on TikTok. I don't really, it's so funny. I
he's
don't
been around
really
forever.
follow a lot of other like witches. I follow a few, but man, some of the practitioners on there, like I lost so much respect for so many of them. And I'm just like,
This is the thing. Coming across you were doing Reiki that one, and I know about Reiki.
mhm.
I was watching you, and at first I'm like, what? But you didn't give me that she's fucking out of her head or what the vibe at all. It's weird. And then obviously I just kept watching you and got hooked. Going through, going through, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel you probably had this so much, which whatever your soul is, your soul has touched. You know what I mean? And that's it. You're just Bodhi, spread the love. I feel that because I don't do this. I'm not like, I told my daughter, so you don't think I'm crazy, do you? Voodoo thing. Um, but I come across the other ones and you watch them and you're like, oh God, no, there's just something. It's just off. And they're giving you guys, those that are true, a bad name. It's kind of like veterinarians. You get one fucking quack like Dr. Pole.
I can't watch that show. Are you talking about the
He's
guy that has the show? I
Yeah,
can't watch him. I don't
Dr.
know.
Pole.
He's
Stuff he does. Oh, just give it antibiotics. I'm thinking, it's a dead, it's a dead cow. It's a dead cow. They never follow up because they're probably all dead.
I don't know. He's just
Mm,
creepy to me. And I'm
mm-hmm,
just like, mm-mm,
mm-hmm. And
mm-mm.
he's
Someone's
old.
gonna come out in like 15 years that you touched a whole bunch of people or a sheep or something. I ain't doing it. Like, I don't
Exactly.
wanna.
Yeah. They're, yeah. He's old school male veterinarian. Just, no, we had to use a speculum on a female to get birthing, and the doctor that I worked for took that thing, went. I'm like, ah, Jesus Christ, but and no anesthesia. But of course, as a technician at the time, I couldn't say shit. Oh God. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Ridiculous.
see, I couldn't do
There's still
that
some that
either. I'd
practice
have
that
been
way.
like, okay, you're a bitch. Like, what can I do to you? Like, that's what I would have said.
But that's okay because the karma came later when a cat bit him and he had to have an IV catheter with antibiotics in it.
Good, good.
Okay, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I'd say you deserve that. I would
Deserve
say
it.
you deserve that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, because of you, I do have my little altar. I'm probably doing it all wrong. And I got some
Why do you
old,
think you're doing it wrong?
and then can you wash it underwater? Does that clear them?
What?
Or any of the gems, any of the stones, crystals? Can you clear them with
There's
water?
only a good rule of thumb is if it ends with "ite,"
Yeah,
don't
you
put it in
don't.
water.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah,
Pretty much everything else is okay.
good.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then I have my little cards. So each morning I've been trying, because again, squirrel, me, menopause, hot flashes, and no sleep. There's that.
I understand that.
Um, so I read my cards. So that's what I'm trying to get back into. Because I know it's there. Because I don't know if I certainly have visions, but when you get that sixth sense gut,
Mhm.
they're strong on me. And I've learned in my life to listen to it deeply. and if I get a thought, like, and nothing to like say, I'm gonna like, I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna stub my toe on the bed. And if I don't go, no, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not, and it won't happen. If I say that, like when my dogs had diarrhea and I'm like, oh, they haven't been sick. 2 days later. Yeah. So that kind of stuff happens to me too. It's
Mhm.
just always kind of been that way. So me trying to get back to, and I did buy a new set of cards. I have some of the oracles. I've got the Native American tarot card
Mhm.
forever. I have animal ones, which my daughter was cracking up because I pulled a turtle and she goes, ah, see, you're as old as that turtle. Such an ass. Ooh, she's an asshole. Um, so yeah, that's why I was kind of wondering in my past life where and how and who and where have I dropped? Because I do believe in reincarnation. I think too, I think our last step, only because I work with them, and I think our last step is an animal, because that's got to be the purest soul out there.
Mhm. I can
And I
see
think
that
once you get to an animal,
easily.
you're like, okay, good, you're done. You've done what you had to do.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I,
can see that. I can
I,
see that. And
but
I can see the people that were douchebags throughout all of their souls' lives being an animal that was treated really horribly. I can see that.
yep,
I can see that.
yep, yep.
Like
Because
the
I'm
same
telling
things
you,
they did, you get done to you. I can see that.
exactly, exactly. And it's amazing the soul of an animal and what and I got in a huge argument with a woman. They don't have, because she was, of course, Catholic, and they don't have souls. Like, don't. In fact, my friend of mine's like, don't go there with her. Oh, please don't start. I was like,
You
um,
don't know what you just said.
like,
Like,
when they come in, like you said, beaten like that, and the trust is still
yeah.
so strong. You know what I mean? It's phenomenal, and it just takes time. And like, I'm one of those vets that go in and I sit on the floor. My vet clinic is kind of like, yay! Nobody cries at the vet. Like if it's open and there's no other dogs there, like I'll bring, like if you had a puppy, he'd come out and run around out back, grab some toys while I'm, talking to you. And like, where'd he go? Oh, he's up front playing. I'm getting on the floor, and if you give it time and stuff, and it just phenomenal what we can do to them, and they're still like, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yep.
so whatever.
Yeah. The bear. I don't know
Who is it?
Bear. I see you, Zeus. He
Monkey.
looked up. His face is all like this. I see you.
Oh,
Where's the bear? Bear, come here.
okay. You have two, don't you? Zeus and
Mhm. I was looking. Usually he's right here. Come here.
all up your
Come
butt.
here. How would you?
Doesn't matter.
Come
Oh,
here. How would you?
how old are they now?
Come here. They're both going to be 13 this year. He's
That's
like, I am
young.
not getting off the couch, but Zeus is
They're
sitting all the
still
way
young.
up.
Yeah.
Bear, come here, buddy. Oh, now I gotta hang on. Let me actually get a bite.
Oh my
Bear,
God.
bear.
My shepherd, by the way, while you're doing that, my shepherd's going like this. What is she saying? She calls the
I
dog?
knew you'd come here. Did you ever watch the movie Labyrinth?
Yes.
Excuse my junk in my couch. Come here.
Oh, stop it.
Come here. I love you. Come here.
Yes, I love Labyrinth.
Come
Although it was kind of creepy if you think about it, watching it as a kid.
He looks like Sir Digimus. What you got on your eye?
Oh my God. He's got the little eyebrows.
He's got a little eye booger right now. Yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, honey.
He has a Fu
I
Manchu
love the
and
Fu Manchu. I love the scruffs. I love the scruffy duffies. He's a, oh my God, his hair. You know what I usually do? I usually take the top of their hair and I'm like,
yeah.
little poof, curl it. And the owner's
He
like,
was
what are you,
I gotta figure out what's on your eyeball.
goobers? Eric, honey?
He was a rescue. Um
Yeah. Oh
he
my,
was in a puppy mill here in Tulsa,
yeah.
and that somebody called because a lady like, I'm so sorry, is it, I'm sorry, shit.
Bush.
um
Oh, oh my God, he's adorable.
love you. I gotta find him a good vet here because he's got a thing on his side, and I've
Yep.
taken him to a couple of vets, and the first one wanted to they want to do all this shit, and I'm like, I literally just need the little thing on his side, like the little thing removed.
Yes.
And then the second one was like, well, we can't guarantee you he's going to wake up because he's only 3 pounds. And I'm like, okay, then no, like he can live with the fucking thing on his side.
Slide
Like,
it.
yeah. And, but I know I love you, old man. He's like pure blood. Like I paid a lot for him. He's my
Adorable.
little fucker. But Bear, he was a
He's
Hold
a
on.
bear. So he's cute. He doesn't look old because he's all white. This is my husband from Lahoma, Oklahoma.
Hi,
Oh, yeah.
husband from Oklahoma. Yeah, Bear, these people called on this lady here in Tulsa saying, well, she has too many animals. She's running a puppy mill or whatever.
Yep.
So when they went in there, she had over 215 dogs. And so Bear is like a Chihuahua,
Yorkie,
Chinese
probably.
crested, like a puffball Chinese crested
Yep.
mix. And we got him, he was like this big. But a friend of mine was doing some fostering and she reached out. She was like, hey, like, we need help really badly. And I was like, I want that one.
Yep.
Like, I want that one right
Yeah,
there. That
right
one.
there.
Like,
That one.
that one's the one I need, you know? He is the happiest dog. He is the happiest dog. And
It's like
he's,
they know. It's like they know. It's bizarre. They really know.
He's the one, I don't know how long you've been following me or whatever, but he's the one on Mother's Day last year. We had my son and his wife had gone to one of the rescues and they had got a dog, right?
Yep.
And they had Doc, and Doc is a naked weenie. He's a weenie dog and Chinese crested mix. And so
Oh,
he looks like, and he is so ugly and he
so
is so
he's cute.
neurotic. Yes. And but so this dog had been staying, you're gonna get caught in my necklace, baby. This dog had been staying at Brody's house with Doc and everything had been fine. Doc has no fur except his head. I named him Dr. Frankenstein. We just call him Doc because he looks
Oh,
like someone put a bunch of pieces of a dog together. And so, and then Zeus is little bitty bitty. And then Bear, he's little, but he has all that fur, so he looks bigger.
Right.
But they brought the dogs over on Mother's Day and she attacked Bear because when she came in the house, she growled and Bear growled back.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, I was like, no, ma'am, we're not doing that. This is a pit. And so I grew up with a pit and I've seen what they can do.
Just don't let go. They're amazing. If
I
anybody
love
said
them, but yeah,
they want to knock me over and kiss me to death, but if they don't like
yeah,
another dog, you're
yeah.
done. I mean,
They didn't tell my son. And one of the only things that saved Bear's life is all that fur and the fact that they had filed her teeth down. She was a bait dog. They had filed her teeth down. They didn't tell them not to have her around other dogs, but if she had gotten a hold of Zeus, she would have killed Zeus. And if she had gotten a hold of Doc, she would have killed Doc. But I mean, we had one when I was growing up that we got from the pound, and we found out that she had been completely trained in German. And the only reason we found out is because I remember my parents were watching something on the news and the guy was giving this dog commands in German and she started sitting up and doing the things. And my parents were like, whoa, 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 hang on a minute. So my parents always made us learn all the things. And since we had a dog like that, like we had to learn all the things. So when she grabbed a hold of him, like I'm trying to grab Bear, Brody had her in a headlock and I plugged her nose. I plugged her nose and I covered her mouth and she had to let go from it. I also, with the other hand, was like punching her in the face. But
exactly.
Poor Bear, I mean, she ripped open his back and he had to have an extensive surgery. And
at least she didn't get into thorax, right? Because of her teeth.
no, she just broke the skin. So thankfully, but they did all the x-ray, make sure there was nothing broken, nothing damaged. But yeah, you can't tell because all that back, but it was horrible. And I felt so bad because I was the one holding Bear and he was just biting to bite. Like, you know, he just was biting. He bit me all over here, but he didn't break the skin. And when he realized he was biting me, he kind of went like that. I was like, it's okay, buddy. Like, you know,
I know, right?
Okay. Like, I understand, you know, and
I get it.
Yeah, it was so bad. Like I actually had nightmares about it for months.
It's fucking scary. You know what I mean? My sister looks just like he's a Chorky, little Herbie. He's 13 too. He's a riot. He's a little shit, but he's a riot. But you know, he's this big. And we got hawks and stuff. And they're then the hawk gets one. And it's not even so much that he picks him up and thinks he's too heavy and drops him, is that talon goes into the lung.
Yeah.
Boop. So it is traumatic. You know, it's scary because, and watch him too. He's probably gonna be really leery with any other dogs coming, larger dogs.
Yeah, he doesn't like other dogs around at all.
All set now.
And I don't make him be around any other dogs either.
Nope.
I don't.
Nope.
Like he's old. He's my buddy. This one too. So, you know, yeah. He's gonna go to sleep. As a puppy, he curled up in my hair. So when he's on me, see.
I see you, Noodle
Love
Bob,
you, old man.
little
Love you, old
noodle.
man.
He's a little noodle. Oh my God, he's so freaking cute.
Yeah.
Little
I
skinny.
socialize the shit out of him. So he is like the most awesome social. Um,
My God, it takes
Anybody
four
that
of
comes
us.
to my house, they're like, "Oh God," I'm like, "No, trust me, he's fine." Like he's gonna sniff a little bit, and then once you pet him and he realizes you are only at my house to pet him, he's gonna go to bed because he's an old fuck, and he's gonna go in there and go to sleep, and you're gonna be laughing in 5 minutes because you can hear this bitch snoring all over the house. Like I've never met a man that
That's
outsnores
awful,
this 3 pound dog.
right? Cutting
Yeah,
logs, buddy.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
because at
He is
work,
almost as bad as a pug, but not quite. I'm getting dog hair all in my face.
he's got a shorter snout. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Oh
So
yeah, he's a total little applehead. So yeah.
freaking riot.
But
Yeah, I'll take
I
five of us to
am
hold a chihuahua. It's ridiculous. We're like,
yeah,
seriously?
he's got some apnea going on because he'll wake up in the middle of the night and be like, "Ah, ah," and I'm like, just don't die on me,
Oh
man.
my
Just don't
God.
die on me,
Does
please.
he
Like,
have collapsing trachea?
I don't know. Oh
Or
yeah, the reverse sneeze shit. Yeah, bad.
yep. And when he gets
Yeah,
excited, does he cough
yeah.
to open his
He
trachea?
also he also knows how to fake it.
Oh yeah.
And I can tell the difference. But still I'm like, oh, come here. Do you need some love? Like, come here, it's okay. Yeah.
Right.
I know I'm being loud. I'm sorry. Would you
Scooching.
like to go get back on the couch, sir?
And I've learned with all my, because I pretty much wear black most of the time, and dark clothes. I actually hang all my clothes up, and I told my husband I'm not retarded. I'm a fucking idiot. But I put them on inside out on the hangers
Yeah.
because I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm wearing my dogs and the
Mhm.
cats. And especially with, I was just thinking that with the white fur, it's like,
Oh yeah, no, it's everywhere. It's
and that
everywhere.
fur is actually worse than like the shepherd. It's like big
Yeah, we're
tumbleweeds.
talking about you.
We are noodle, little fur. Like,
I
whatever,
know. Hide
whatever,
your face.
mom. You
Hide your
embarrassing
face.
me.
Yeah, he's my buddy. I miss the fuck out of him when I'm gone because he's always slept with me. And so
Can you, how does he do traveling? You drive
not
pretty
very
much everywhere, don't
well.
you?
I don't take them. I usually have someone that stays at my house
Yep,
and watches them.
which is perfect.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're getting old. And so then I'm like, man, what if something happens when I leave, you know?
well, I tell people when they travel like that with the dogs or cats, I said, just if you know where you're going, just mark out, let's say, the emergency veterinary clinics along the way. God forbid something should happen, you know.
Yeah.
Um, double leash them when you take them out for potty, please,
Hmm.
and use the hardest plus the but like Motel Sixes and Red Roofs, I think take animals. Because I traveled
Okay.
from Oklahoma with my three cats. Um, they're just out in the car and I had the litter box behind me and they're all like, of course they screamed for the first hour. Um, but they wound up traveling fine. But I tell people that because I'm that way too, like panicked if something were to happen. Like I flew my dog from St. Kitts when I was there, my Sambuca, my soul, and I was like, this plane's not leaving. I want to see the tarmac. Where's my dog? This plane's not leaving. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
my dog is in the goddamn hole. It's panicked. So yeah, even I
I
do
know.
see.
I know. I know. I know. I know. Just hide your face. Hide your face.
So you all moved in. You good?
No,
I lived above the clinic for a
no.
while, and it became, well, for me too. If somebody knocks my door at midnight, I'm not going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you have a bleeding dog." I'm in bed. I'm not going to say
Like
no.
with this, like they better not knock on my door. I got a
Exactly.
doorbell camera. I'll be like, we're
Mm-mm.
closed.
Closed. Sorry, your
We're
spiritual healing is
closed.
going to have to wait till tomorrow.
If it's an emergency, you can call me. You like you can call me.
Nope.
But I'm not like I don't
But
there's
living
only
above
been a couple of people that have like my phone number where they, if it's an emergency they can
yes.
call.
There's a certain amount of people that I let have that because the same thing too. Humans.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they
Friend of
have no
Sylvie.
boundaries.
I'm a friend of Sylvie. Who are you?
Yeah, they have no boundaries. So
Yeah.
there's a couple of older guys that come into the shop that actually whenever I had an alarm set, I was downstairs so I could walk up here
Mhm.
to speak to you. And I gave myself like 45 minutes because I had no makeup on. I've been moving all morning. And as soon as I got to the door, one of them had pulled up and he just wants to fucking talk. And I get it. Like I
Mhm.
understand that you're lonely. Like I get it. But
Mhm.
goddamn, like I'm
Mhm.
obviously walking out the door And he's like, "Oh, are you not working today?" And I'm like, "We're closed on Wednesdays, like to the public, you know." And he was like, "Oh," and he was like, "Why?" And then
Just have one
somebody,
question.
yeah, somebody on, oh yeah, and he made an appointment with me on Friday morning, and I'm like, "I want to know,
Start
I don't
crying.
want to know." Like I legit had to catch my face. I'm like, don't be a bitch, you
Yep.
know, like don't be a bitch.
Yep.
But he doesn't really want a reading. He
Talk.
just wants somebody to pull cards while he talks. Like that's because I read for him a few weeks ago.
Yep.
But he had pulled up on Sunday and I was in the middle of moving stuff and I hurried up and got in and shut the door. Because I was like, because I saw him like pull over and I was like, motherfucker, motherfucker.
I do
So
the
yeah.
aisle dash. I'll be
He
going down an
races me
aisle and I'll
down.
see a client that absolutely ugh, gets me, right?
Yep.
I'm like, well, I don't need sugar today.
Yep.
I don't need eggs either. Like, I won't even go down that aisle.
Oh,
I
I
can't.
Instacart everything. My hair is crazy. So I gotta go pull it up.
Did you get it
I
shaved on the side?
Instacart, huh?
Did you shave it again recently?
Yeah, I just shaved it yesterday. So,
Nice. I like it.
and then it dried when it was up. So, see, it's
Yeah.
like I feel like a middle-aged old man or something.
No,
Like,
you don't. You look
I'm
like a
just like,
Viking goddess.
like
What
a
you look like.
comb over, like,
There you
I'm
go.
a comb over. So, yeah, no, I'll go pull it up right there.
Yeah,
So,
you look like
yeah.
a Viking goddess like that. I love it.
Yeah, I usually have my dreads in. I haven't had them in since I moved, but
Yeah,
yeah.
you braid.
hmm I've
Yeah.
got my, I've got one and
Mhm.
I don't have anything in it. But yeah,
I was
yeah.
reading, I looked up some of your stuff on your website, like under Mandy.
hmm
I want to get the book about your like your seizures and all that stuff. That was crazy. I was like reading through it. I'm like, yeah, buy that on Kindle. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, there's one. I think it's the one, the sky is green and the grass is pink. That one actually has a lot of artwork in it too.
Oh, good.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one that's just a
Like a tell all about it.
written work
Mhm.
and the other that is written and art.
And that might be that one,
So,
green.
well, they're poetry and short stories.
Yep.
So yeah, I used to write a lot. And that's one thing that I'm trying to,
Get back in.
well, I started writing a book about like my life and traveling and so on and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And I haven't been able to work on it in a year. I used to write like 500-page manuscripts in 20 days. So I'm like, it's been a year, you know? Yeah.
Right? Well, I can't imagine. I mean, I think about this sometimes too, like with the TikTok, it's such a commitment, you know what I mean? And it's a good thing, but I, I feel sometimes like the anxiety you must have, like, I got to get on, you know what I mean? And I'm not even talking
Yeah.
like, even the once a day thing, like, you guys are great, I'm here, you know?
Mhm.
But some of the things I'm like, that just
Mhm.
pulls you, you know what I
I
mean?
have to release at
When do you
least
get
one
your
video
time?
a day. And
Yeah.
then I have like 160 something drafts, and some of them I really just need to clean out.
Hmm.
But
I know
really, I
that's
need to
one
be
thing. You have to
releasing. Yeah,
fix
I
all that
really need
shit.
to be releasing like 2 to 3 videos a day. And
It's a
right
lot.
now, I don't have time.
Mm-mm. No.
And people
When's a
don't
you
realize
time?
like it's one thing to shoot the video, it's a whole other monster. It actually takes much longer to
To
edit
edit
it,
it.
everything. And so it's yeah,
Because
yeah.
computer stuff, it's true. Like, I'll be doing some stuff and I'm like, oh my God, it's been 2 hours and I got
hmm
that much done. You
hmm
know, it does take a long time. But when do you have your you time? I mean, my God.
I don't.
No.
I really don't.
Mm-mm.
Like so and moving up here,
You probably get more. You might get more.
my apartment up here actually is bigger than the house that I moved. And I
Mhm.
had a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom house, but this is 4 beds. And there is one room that has no windows. I was gonna put my office in there. And everybody was like, don't you dare, or don't you do it. Don't put your office in there.
Windows.
You literally can walk downstairs. And
Oh yeah, don't bring work home.
yeah, I mean, I have this computer up here,
Mhm.
but yeah, so when we get off here, I've actually got to go down and organize my office because my home office just went into my office, and
Mhm.
I have so much goddamn shit.
Yeah. I've been doing a cleanse because
I
when you were telling me on my birth chart, my husband goes, "Did you tell her about the flood?" What you said, my air is a little low, but your water is just, and literally the night that I did a reading, well, I just came on and you had said it was the warrior reading where you said, "You've got this, you're
mhm.
strong, you've been through some fucking shit in your life and you're gonna get over that." It just hit. And then you said, "It's done. The bad is done." So in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna flood again because I've been watching the pumps. My husband was in Iowa, and I'm like, "Thank you, Bodie. Thank you. I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm not gonna worry about it." It was 2 feet of water up to my knee. I went down. It's like the litter boxes are floating. I'm like,
Oh
"Shit."
my God.
So, and the cats were trying to tell me, but I'm like, okay, I had cleaned everything out. Thank God. The wood stove and all that was cleaned up because it was warmer. And Hobbsy was like, I'm like, "Fine, I'll feed you." And I go down there, I'm like, "Oh, that's what you're saying." So
Oh shit.
when you said I need more water, Eric's like, "To tell about the flood, I think you're fine with water." I know.
Yeah.
I didn't. But I grew up on the ocean, Wells Beach, so House Road Beach. And with my mother, the way she was, the only way I could, and she was French, and her mother did it to her. Like she'd lock me in my room. Oh my God, that was the worst thing. Like sometimes put a bureau in front of it. Now my sister's a golden child, Joe's will be, and whatever. Yeah, little
Yeah.
sister, you should have had your eyes on her. I'm like, she was 4 blocks down the road. Anyway, for me, going outside and sitting on the rocks and just the ocean, I had to.
Hmm.
So when I lived in Chicago, I'm like, "What do you mean I got to where? What? I got to drive to a body of water? What's
Hmm.
going on here?" In Oklahoma, I'm like landlocked.
Yeah.
So yeah, the water's always been kind of the ocean, feeling it.
Yeah, I'm
My
like
biggest fear is
terrified of
drowning.
open water. I'm super terrified of open
I'm
water.
I'm terrified of drowning.
Hmm.
Terrified. I don't know
Hmm.
why, because it's supposedly apparently the simplest, easiest death, I guess. For me, it's the leading up to taking that goddamn breath.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
panic.
The hopelessness of knowing that there is not a goddamn thing you can do.
Nothing you can
Nope.
fucking do.
Nope. I need to just go in my sleep or something instant. Like I need
Yes,
something
get hit by a
instant.
truck.
Just let me float away.
Mhm. You got it.
And not like that. Not like that. Wait, wait,
No, I
back
don't want
up.
to be like
Like,
Titanic. Move
yeah,
over, bitch. There was plenty of room for Jack. Plenty
there
of room.
was. There was.
Yeah, I'll die in ice because at least you freeze.
Right.
But Eric's like, "Well, it does hurt a little bit." I'm like, "Not like drowning."
I mean, I joke and I really shouldn't, but I'm like, man, if I ever get diagnosed with something horrible or whatever, like I'm just gonna eat like 3 boxes of strawberry fruit roll-ups and I'm gonna let my sugar get real high and I'm just gonna go sleep.
It's gonna
And
go
I'm
to
never gonna
coma.
wake up. Like that's what I'm gonna do.
Which
So
actually,
yeah,
that would be the way to go.
I mean, I miss strawberry fruit roll-ups. I really like strawberry fruit roll-ups. So
So funny.
that's what I'm gonna do. Like, yeah,
Yeah, but your sugar's managed now. Ish.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's just it's super sensitive, so I have to really be careful. Like
Yeah. Like the
what
day
I
you ate the
eat.
pizza, it kept going off. I'm like, Jesus.
Well, so I have mindset when that's going off and it's high,
Yeah.
that means that it's between 180 and 200. I rarely like if it goes above 220, I'm
Yeah.
taking some glipizide to bring it
Yep.
down.
Yep.
But man, I know people that they're like, "Oh yeah, mine's always in the 300s." So I'm like,
Yeah. That's
"Oh, I had totally stroke eye there for a minute." I was like, one thing I hate with like we have some really bad storms today. And the good thing about wearing eyelashes and makeup is that I can fudge a little bit when I turn to the side. I'm like, oh God, you can tell I've had like, what the fuck just happened to your eyeball right there? So yeah, I can make some great faces, but I get Bell's palsy really bad right here.
really, yeah.
So good thing tonight I'm drawing so I can be looking
Look
down
down.
that shit, but it gets so bad. And then I try to make jokes about it because yeah, I mean, it makes people uncomfortable when you talk about
Yes.
seizure. It makes them uncomfortable when you talk about strokes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm like, don't look at my stroke eye. Like, oh God, but yeah. And
And
I'm
I
like,
can't even tell. I can't.
stroke. And then I'm like, oh, I did. Like,
I
I
know
mean,
you'll do that, and I'm like giggling, and everybody's like, "Oh!" I'm like, "Oh my God!" Just
I mean, that's why I do it though, you know,
You
to,
have to, yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, I can't tell by looking at you right now. I can't tell.
well, because it's really,
Yeah, it's
but like if I look sideways, oh, now it's not going to do it. Fucking piece of shit eyeball. But it did it a while ago. Like, it's so weird. It only does it sometimes. And it's probably about time for me to take some more Tylenol, I'll be honest. But
yeah.
when it's storming and it's starting to be spring, so it's going to storm a lot more. But
So the humidity and the
yeah, whenever the good thing about it is this whole apartment is brick. It's brick. And so the inside has wood and has, I mean, you can see the old,
yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
I don't have a stove in here yet. There's not one, but there's all this like
Oh
gorgeous
my God. Yeah, tongue and
redid
groove.
all the paneling.
Yeah, the tongue and groove. That's gorgeous.
Yeah. And so and then even the
Oh,
ceiling.
that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
That I
So
love.
it's pretty dry up here. So
Good.
I'll definitely be having to plug in the
Yeah,
humidifier and stuff, but I also have a lot of plants too, so there's that. But
that's good. Yeah, I kill plants. I'll
I
keep the
used
animal
to,
alive, but I killed
I
the
it's
cactus, Bodie.
same, same. I used to, we bought this massive one and I loved it. And to
Mm-hmm.
be honest, it was when my ex and I were splitting up and I totally forgot that it was out there. And
Lost the
so
cactus in the
yeah,
divorce.
um he uh he jokes about that. But I used to kill everything but a bonsai. I can keep a fucking bonsai alive. I'm like, how is that a thing? Like probably because they're moody bitches and they don't want you to touch them. Like, leave me the fuck
Oh,
alone. Maybe every couple months come talk to me, you know, like I get it.
yep.
Yeah, whenever I before I got divorced, I used to raise geckos, like all kinds of geckos
I
and stuff
heard
like
that. Yeah.
that. And I've been missing them. So I'm like, I don't want no more geckos. But that's a commitment too, especially with me traveling. I can't do it. But at one point I had like 42 crested geckos because I had four breeding pairs and they all laid eggs at the same time and they all hatched. And I was like super excited because
Yes.
it's just like it's just like cats or anything else. And like they all had names and I custom built them all cages and like I spent one whole weekend and I did 15 cages with like the spray foam and putting
Yep.
water feed. Like, oh my God, it was so much.
Oh
And
my
it was
God.
so fucking fun. But they had little hidey holes and where I could just open a thing and get the eggs. Like it was great. But so I had one whole section that was just like Dalmatians, and then these were high contrast colors. And yeah, but when I moved out, he wouldn't let me have my bearded dragon, and he wouldn't let me have I had a Euromastix. And I don't know if you know what those are, but they're these crazy, they look like little tiny Gila monsters or however you say it,
Yep.
Gila monsters, whatever, but they're bright orange and black. And when
Yes.
you put
Yes.
your hand in until they trust you, they puff up. They're like, nope, nope, I'm like 9 times this size. And so, and the one I had was a rescue, and he was kind of a dick. Like he wouldn't bite you, but he would run and he would puff up at you. And I'm like, buddy, I'm the cricket
Food.
god. I'm bringing you crickets. Like, but he wouldn't let me have either one of them. And they ended up passing away and it pissed me off. I'm
Yeah.
like, you could have given them to the pet store. You could have given them to somebody. Like, why would you do that? Like,
Give
why
that
did
to
you do that?
me. How's that sound?
Yeah, I also had this gorgeous little weird albino ferret, and he did give that to the pet store. So at least it got a new home, but it
I
pissed
have
me off.
not seen
Like,
when I
why would
first
you?
opened in 2007. Because I'll see if it walks through the door, I'll see it. I mean, there's goats and everything coming in. I have not seen a ferret in right since 2010. It's just not.
Really?
It's not like it's illegal here. It's just
Hmm. They're all over down here. They're all
yeah,
over. And
yeah. No.
I had a pair for a long time when my daughter was little bitty and we had Max and Ruby because Ruby had red eyes and
Yes.
Kay loved the Max and Ruby cartoon.
Yep.
And so we had Max and Ruby. And then when we moved, and my ex built me like this big, gorgeous cage with all the slides and like I am a spoiler. I'm like my animals are all spoiled. Um,
As it should
but
be.
yeah, and so when we moved, I don't remember what it was, but a friend of mine, because we lived in Cushing, and a friend of mine, she was like, I'd love to have them. Like, okay. So I sold them to her. And then 2 months later, they had a house fire. And I was like, like, yeah, it fucking killed me. And so I just, yeah. I used to
Yeah.
breed and raise all kinds of shit, like Quaker parrots and all the things. Like I used to do all that, and I
Yeah,
miss it sometimes because the birds talking to you and blowing you to kisses is great, but I just don't have time.
no, we had this cockatoo that came in. If you look at the Ridge Animal Hospital, that's
Mhm.
my place in, there's one in New York, but this is Sanford, Maine. And I have a picture with my favorite cockatoo would come in. He'd always look at me. He'd sit up here and he'd do the bouncing thing and he'd be,
Uh-huh.
what the hell? He goes, he gets into my coffee brandy. Okay, number one, why do you have coffee brandy in your car? Opened, mind you. Two,
Right, 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 right.
we probably shouldn't be looking at. Just saying. Ridiculous.
Cockatoos are fucking hilarious. They're fucking hilarious.
Hilarious.
My oldest son, I'm just sitting here chatting away. I'm so sorry.
I know, we're like,
And I've got to
like
get off here
housewife
in a
just
minute
passed.
because I got to go pick up my kid from school. But my first husband, his parents had a cockatoo, and when I met him in like 96, 95, I don't know. Anyway, he was 15 years old then. Like he was already 15, but he had been mistreated so bad. His dad was an alcoholic, and he had been mistreated so bad that he hated men, period. So the first time I came over to his house, because he had the bright orange
Mhm.
crown, and my hair was like bright red at the time, like, well, not bright red, but auburn. And
He's like, my
he
people.
loved me, and his mom was laughing her ass off. And so whenever we got our first house, like after we got married, she asked if I wanted him because I would always love on it, go over and sweet talk him. And so he came to live with us, and I used to leave cartoons on for him so he wouldn't be lonely. So
Right?
he started learning how to talk again. He started learning how to try to, but
Right.
most of it was like yabba dabba doo and stuff like that. It
What's
was
up,
really fun.
Doc?
And but he and I were buddies until I got pregnant, until I had Brody. And then he did not like that Brody got more attention than he
Attention than
did.
him.
And he
Oh,
would
they
go to
are.
the bottom of his cage and grab fucking fistfuls of
Mhm.
actual shit and fling them at the baby. And I was like, Colonel, like you can't do that. But he would sit there and he'd puff up at
Oh,
me.
they
And I'm
get.
like, buddy, stop. And he had this cool cage where he could get on the top, and he started eating our drywall and just be, he would never get off his cage because my ex's dad was so mean to him. He
Yeah,
was conditioned, do not leave the
don't leave
cage.
that cage.
And
Yeah.
even when I would try to, he would freak out. And so I'm like, it's okay, buddy. So we just made him all stuff. No, we had to put him in the middle of the fucking room. He ate two different walls. I was like, you are a cunt. Like, you are a cunt.
He
Like,
is.
what are you doing right
That's
now?
total
But
asshole cunt behavior. Oh, and they
yeah,
are awful. They are. They're temperamental. They
yeah.
if they attach, they attach. And for some reason, because they always say you really shouldn't let them on your shoulder because it's the dominant thing.
Uh-huh.
Here I am, no vet. Come on in. Because I want to run, I want to be the this
Yeah.
one, every time she got on the phone, and you've heard him screech, that thing would commence to fucking screeching so bad because he couldn't stand the fact that she was talking to somebody else on the phone. We were talking about something, I couldn't remember. I'm like, I'll let you go. I'll
Mm-hmm.
text you. Although
Yeah.
they really, it's funny how birds, well, they mate for life. So I think they just really get
Yeah. Yeah.
attached. And then of course they live for this one lady came in, she's like 70. She's like, my kids just bought me a parrot because I'm alone. I'm like,
Oh shit. Well, they're gonna
who's
be
gonna
taking
take
care
care
of
of it
it.
in the next 10 years? Just saying. I hope they want it back.
Yeah. I had a oh, hang on just a minute.
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay. My girl downstairs was letting me know that everything had gotten there. Um, there's a little pet store here in Sapulpa, and I used to go down there a lot because I was getting that's where I got all my crickets and shit, and
Mhm.
they can get some weird shit. But they had a bird in there, a little Quaker parrot, for a long time, and his name was Tango, and he was just a dick. He was just a dick. But I would go in there and he would actually be nice and he would let me, kind of pet
Yep.
his little scruff back there a little bit. So finally one day they were like, would you like to take him home? And I was like, well, yeah, like I would love to, like why? And
Why?
they were like, he just needs a home.
Right.
They have a big I don't know what he is. He's not a macaw. He's green and red though.
Amazon,
And
or
he's
the Amazon, or the Conyers.
no, he's like this big. Maybe he is a macaw with but he doesn't hardly have any feathers. Like he was a rescue too.
Yeah.
And he screams fuck a lot. Fuck, fuck. Like, yeah.
That would be my
And
house. Where do you learn
yeah,
that?
which I'm like, oh, that's my kind of bird,
Fit
fuck, fuck.
right in. We're good.
But Tango, when we got him home, he learned to mimic my laugh, and he learned every cuss word. He learned
Yep.
to cuss like me and everything. And so when one of my kids would get hurt, because I had 3 teenage boys at one time, he would
Oh,
laugh, and it would sound like me laughing. And so it was so fun. I was like, you are the most sadistic fucking bird. And you could go around the corner where he couldn't see you and like go like that, and then go, ow, and he'd go like he started laughing. Like, it was so funny. And he had this big cage in the living room, and if he felt like we were up too late, if it was past dark 30, he turned into a little old man. And if the TV was too loud, he would sit over and he'd be like, motherfucker, motherfucker, fuck, fuck. Like, he would just bitch until you turn the TV down. But when he was ready to go to bed, he would scream until you turned the TV off.
they're ridiculous. They're honestly ridiculous. If you're not ready to be told what to fucking do, don't get a
Mhm.
fucking bird.
Yeah.
Your life is the
No,
bird.
he was hilarious as fuck. Like, he was hilarious. I did have a pair of conures for a while, and I will never goddamn do that again. They learned to mimic the microwave and the smoke detector, and that was it.
That would be, yeah, that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Gotta go.
And they thought it was funny.
Oh
They
yeah.
did learn to giggle a little bit. They thought it was funny. I'm like, y'all are dicks. Y'all are dicks.
If they even mimicked it too, my Akina starts shaking. We have the ring, so it'd be like, no, there's smoke in the kitchen, and my husband's like, "Are you mocking me?" Oh, don't yell at her. Anyways, as soon as as soon as my dog Akina hears that, trembling and in the room, like that's all she has to hear is that. There's no even buzzing yet. So if I had a bird, she would lose her mind.
Oh
That'd
my God.
be
Yeah.
the end of it.
Uh-huh.
Totally.
Yeah.
Lucy would probably eat them. Bronco wouldn't give a shit.
I love that his name is
I've got a
Bronco.
20-minute video of him running around chasing a white butterfly. I've pissed my pants. And of course, the butterfly's like,
Love it.
and he's going, "Whoa," and he's like down the driveway.
I love it.
He's,
Oh,
he's like Ferdinand. Thank God, because at 96 pounds, if he was an asshole shepherd, I'd be like,
right? Oh my
right.
God.
But I still would love him. Anyways, he's my little asshole. There's a mug that says, my German shepherd's an asshole, but that's okay. I still love him.
I mean,
Why not? My asshole, not yours.
I have one of my favorite coffee mugs has a little chihuahua on it with a like the devil sickle or whatever it is.
Yes.
It says hellhound on it. I'm like, yeah, that's one.
I think I saw you drinking out of it once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you had it. Yep. Oh my God, it's too funny.
Yeah. It's my favorite one. Well,
There we
lady,
go.
I better let you go.
I know this is ridiculous.
I
So
probably have to go
apparently,
actually work.
so I was in India, got that. I'll have to listen to it again.
Yes. The main thing that's affecting you, why it's popped up, is that you are looking for that person. You're looking for
Yep.
that mentor, that higher up to kind of scoop you up and take you under their wing. So whatever that symbol was you saw,
Yeah, I'll look back at it.
what deck did you just get, out of curiosity?
2 seconds. Hold on. Calvin, calm down. Come on, let's go. And I got to show you this fairy stone. I think it's a fairy stone.
Okay. I have a couple of her decks.
Yep. They're beautiful. So I just pulled from there. I pulled that one the other day. I had Spirit Guardian, Letting Go, Standing Stones, Passage, and Raven Spirit, Truth. I'm like, really? Seriously. That was
Oh,
the
those
other
are
day.
beautiful.
I pulled that the other day. But really quick, me and my daughter, we go Mama Gracie Adventures. Of course, now she's 19. Pull her by her teeth. But and I found this, and after getting into the crystals again with you, I'm like, could this be? But look, if this is a fairy stone,
Where did you find
can
that?
you
That's
believe that? In Maine, the beach in Maine. Because I need rockaholics.
Let me see it from this side. Girl, I have no idea
I
what that
found it.
is. That's
Common Grace.
fucking cool as shit.
Isn't that crazy? I'm like, come on, no. And then I was like picking at it. Did somebody make this? No.
That's cool as shit. Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
I'm wondering if it's part of a fairy stone that, right? Those fairy stones, what are they called? With the
Yeah,
crosses.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I have one. So fairy stones usually,
They're more gritty.
it's they're usually whatever color the sand is. They're not two
Mm-hmm.
colors like that. So
Mm-mm.
that's why I'm like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what that is. That's cool
Mm-mm.
as shit.
Mm-mm. There's some seriously cool rocks on this beach. Grace like, oh my God, mama. Because then I also, with the sea glass and stuff.
I love sea glass. Oh my God. I when Sass and I went um across Arizona, yeah, it's almost in Mexico. Anyway, I don't know. We were on 66 outside
Mm,
of Gallup. I think it's past Gallup.
yep.
There's a place on the side of the road called Fort Apache where they used to film a TV show and all this stuff, and it's just abandoned now. So we went over there, and there's these windows that they've been busted out. They've been spray painted and then busted out, and the glass is like this fucking thick, and it's smoke. It's smoke gray. So some of it has old spray paint stuff on it.
Yes.
I picked up so many pieces of them, and I need to get a different polisher for my Dremel to be able
Yeah.
to polish them into jewelry pieces
Oh, that'd
because
be
they're so
cool.
fucking
That'd be
beautiful.
cool.
Picked up 3 Walmart sacks full, and I could have picked up way more, but we didn't have room in the car.
No, I probably
We
have.
already didn't have room in the car, and we hadn't even got to Tucson. I was like, we're in trouble. We're in so
Oh
much
yeah, I know. You
goddamn.
hadn't even hit the gem show. That would be.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Ooh, I'm actually glad that you said that. I gotta look at when the Denver one is, and
21. It's the 21st, I think it was. Right? You're going on the 21st of April?
no, that's
That's a
why.
different one.
Why does it? I looked up Denver Gem Show and it put Denver Green Shoe. What the fuck? No, there's a gem show
Oh,
in May, and I just gotta see when.
God, that would be lethal for me. I mean, I have the rocks because I'm a Virgo. I have them sorted by size, shape,
Oh,
color.
girl, that's I get it. I get it. March. Oh
I'd love
man,
to go
there's
to
one in
Tucson Gem
April
Show.
this weekend. What the fuck?
In Denver?
Stop it. I thought there was one in May, so apparently I'm just ridiculous. That's okay. So September.
Can you drive to Denver from,
Mhm.
I mean, like how many
Yeah.
hours?
I'm actually a little disappointed in myself. If I'd have realized that it was this next weekend, I would have gone.
On.
Would have already gone. I thought it was in May. So, but it's 10 hours. 10
Yeah.
hours. I mean, you can do it in one day. I'm going up to a concert and stuff here
Right.
on the 23rd.
Yep.
So we're leaving the 20th, and we'll drive halfway and then we'll drive the rest of the way.
I
So
know I used to be able to drive when I lived in Oklahoma, and then when I lived in Arizona and lived down in Tempe because I was doing my internship, and I took my time then because I was done vet school. I graduated, you know what I mean? I hadn't officially graduated, but I was done.
yeah.
But I took my time driving home. But I used to be able to drive straight through for hours, and now I'm like, oh, we need to stop. Look at that.
Oh, I don't mind driving, but like I
I
have to have
love
the time
driving.
to do whatever live I'm doing that evening. So that's why I have to stop.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be like, let's just go.
I
There's a
know,
national park.
right?
Let's go there. Let's go
He's
there.
alive in
But
the car.
yeah, yeah. Now I can't. Now I'm like, fuck. Okay, we can go here or we can eat. But either way, like we have to be there at 7 or we have to be there. Yeah. So it kind of
That's what I'm
sucks.
saying. That's where it would be hard for. That's where it's got to be hard for you. I feel the constraints like
It's
that.
hard and it does piss me off sometimes because people,
They
well, you
demand it.
weren't on. You weren't on.
No shit.
Bitch, there was a fucking wreck. Like I was stuck in traffic for 2 fucking hours on a highway in the middle of fucking nowhere with no toilet.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
tell me again how I wasn't on. Like I'm
yeah.
sorry.
And
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's even though it's the demand. It just the entitlement, the
Yeah.
demand. It just blows my mind.
Oh, y'all don't even see the half of it.
Blows it. Oh
Y'all
yeah,
don't even see the half of it.
and especially on TikTok. I mean, you've got what Netherlands, Europe, Asia. I mean, you've got it. You're there, girl. And I'm just like the demand. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of times
and I
I
almost feel like trolling them, being like, listen, she has a
And
life.
I
She
just
needs
have
a
to
life.
let it
It's
go.
okay if she's not on. Night. Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna die. Go grab your fucking quartz and shut up.
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's really, really bad. Like
No,
people
it's
don't
demanding.
realize. So I'll have people, well, what would you say if somebody wanted to be a, influencer or whatever? I was like,
Don't. Mm-mm,
don't,
mm-mm.
don't. I love what I do. Don't get me wrong, I do.
Yes.
But I'm also focusing on my shop has been doing really good. And so I'm
Good.
focusing on getting that better because like
That's your livelihood. You know what I mean? And I mean,
it's ridiculous.
I love what I do, but I'm kind of glad because I have another doctor working for me now because I've been doing this since basically I was 13 years old, right? And I've had it to hear with people. One lady was pissed off because her cat was dying, and I told her he had kidney failure and you can treat it a week ago. You can treat it if you want or not, it's totally up to you. Oh, okay, I'll try. So she comes in to put him to sleep and refuses to pay because she just spent $200 the week before. You go to the grocery store and say, I just spent $200. I'm not paying for this milk. So people, I still love what I do, but like you said, it gets like, ugh,
Hmm.
enough, stop.
Yeah. Yep.
And I get I can't hide my face sometimes either. I just do what?
Hmm.
You just said
Hmm.
what?
No, it's so bad, dude. It's so
I
bad.
know.
People
I
people don't they don't see the half of it. They don't see
know.
the half
But
of it.
if it happened to them, that would be the end of it. You'd hear it,
I love my child.
right? Now, mine is in her art class and should be getting out. This is my baby girl.
Oh my God, that's a good picture.
Yeah. Don't ask me why she's blonde hair and blue eyed because clearly something happened. And she's
That's
an
right.
amazing artist. She's full of it. She's fucking full of it. She's a Pisces. She's my Pisces.
Oh yeah. Good
She's a
luck with that.
Pisces with a I can't remember her moon. Shit. Can't remember her
And
moon.
what are you?
Virgo.
Oh, there we go.
Virgo with
Oh,
an
y'all
Aries
get
moon.
along. Y'all will get along. Y'all get along
Well,
though.
apparently we're direct opposites
Yeah.
for 6 months, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm an Aries moon and a Sagittarius rising. I don't know all that stuff. Like I looked at the birth chart. I have it on my phone and I'm like, what are the lines? What is that? All that? I'm gonna have to have you at another time, obviously.
Yeah, it's a
I don't
lot.
know any of that
It's
shit.
a lot.
It's
It's
a
a lot.
lot. I'm like, because I need to know. I need,
Well, yeah, that's the Virgo
understand it.
aspect.
I mean,
That's
it
the Virgo.
explains
I
it.
need to know all the things. Yeah.
I need to know all the things. Which had told me that on my birth chart. You need to know, and you have to be right. And then you're gonna go find the things to make sure you're right, which is so fucking true. It
Mhm.
says right here, see, and I won't let it go. I've learned mindfulness. Let it go. Nobody cares.
Well,
Go
girl,
get
I'm
your
gonna let you go.
child. Go get your
Gonna go.
child.
Yeah, I gotta get my child. So I'm like, are you ready? Are you because they get out usually they can get out a little early. And so I'm like, are you all I got was I want to use sunflower oil with my beeswax. Olive oil has vitamins but clogs for it. I'm like, oh my God, this fucking child is gonna kill me.
Oh yeah, like the other time you're saying the way she was texting you, that's totally my kid. Like out of the blue, like what?
Mhm.
Are you talking about?
Like I love this little shit. I love like Kay is a fucking trip and a half. I was like, you need to be a comedian. I shit you not.
Oh
You
yeah.
need to be a comedian.
And
Like you
Grace
are
is
so
old school. I
fucking
mean, she
funny.
had in third grade, she had the teachers cracking up. I mean, the jokes from the kids were like, so she's always been
Yeah.
an old soul, and she was always with me, either on me or around, I mean, like I didn't
Mm-hmm.
use that stupid thing. I had her like on me. And her fucking joke, oh my God. She's
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and she's been through a lot because her father passed away from alcoholism. And I thank God everything happened for a reason. I divorced him. Eric came back into my life. He died like a year and a half later. So Grace and Eric were able to get close. But the drinking. So he passed. She said a poem that had every one of us dying, not a tear out of her eye.
Aw.
She said it was such, she was like 9, 10. She had a lot of weight on her.
Yeah.
The cat had died, and then her favorite dog died. I'm like, oh my God, can we stop, please? And she goes, Mama, I can't cry. She'll cry for others.
Mm-hmm.
She's always been, if you're the underdog, if you've got a list, if you've got whatever, she gravitates to that. She keeps her friends close. So she birthday parties, she can only want one friend because she can't divide her time. She feels bad. She doesn't want the other one to feel left out,
Oh.
right? So it's never been, well, thank God. Anyway, big sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But she's always been for the underdog, but for herself, I'm like, it's okay. And her dad visits her in her dreams. And I said, watch for that, watch for the signs. You'll,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Aw.
that's her. But she's all right. Thank God. And I got lucky. Out of teenagers, I got fucking lucky. The worst thing is if I open that door right now and you saw her room, that's my biggest battle. And I'll take it.
Mine's gotten a lot better. She actually keeps hers pretty fucking clean.
Good.
Brody always kept his pretty clean. He was a
Yep.
weird kid. He was a weird kid.
I'm like, and there was, us 80s kids dirty. And then there's what the is there something?
Yeah.
Wait, something's gonna
No,
crawl in
that's
there.
a whole new level of gross. Yeah.
I
My
mean,
two stepsons were that way. I was like, what is this? What is the smell even? Like, I can't even identify how many smells are in the smell.
for her, it's mostly like cups and the goldfish. I'm like, do you realize if it's a fire, you're just gonna that's it. You're out. You pick the shit. You don't even have the path to the door. I'll see you tonight, probably.
Yep, I'll be on there doing some artwork. So
Yay! I got my sigil too. Love it.
yay.
I keep looking at it. I put it in different positions. I showed Eric, and he goes, "Is that Arabic?"
Everybody asks that. Is it Arabic? Is it Sanskrit? I'm like, no,
Nope,
no.
nope.
But I've always done it ever since I was like the first art piece I have that I did it. I was in third grade. I was in third grade. I did this. We had to do like everybody in the class has to do the same thing,
Yep.
And mine has a piece of it written. So it's like this big tree that leans out over the water
Yep.
on a little hill, and then it has it coming down right there. So yeah,
So funny. Something's coming through you.
third grade.
Sounds
And that
weird.
hung in the principal's office for 2 years until we moved. My mom was like, is there any way I can have that?
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I mean, I look at it now and I'm like, I can't believe I did that. I didn't do that. Like somebody else did that. But
Right?
hey.
Maybe it was.
All
Yeah.
right, lady.
All right, darling. Oh my God. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I was late, but
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Just please. I was like panicking. Oh my God. Because my thing said, are you gonna update? I'm like, no, because I know what happens. It's gonna be there for 5 hours. So
no,
I'm
mine gave me no choice. It was like, and this is what we're doing. I was like, okay, cool. Fuck off. All right, great.
have a
All right,
fabulous
lady.
rest of the day. I'll poke in
It
tonight.
was a pleasure talking to you. I'll see you.
Wonderful.
See you this evening.
Awesome. Take care.
Bye.